Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Altitude Sickness Podcast. I am Tony, and today I'm being joined by Drew and Matthew, as always. How we doing?
Doing good. Happy to be here. Happy happy the Rockies won a couple series. They won one series. But oh well. It was a good series, I felt. Even if we didn't win the last one.
Hmm.
Yeah, they went 3-3 throughout the week. No complaints. I'll take that every week. If they do that, no 100 losses, so that's
Yeah.
fine. Even though they should have been 4-2, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I guess yeah. Big episode 25. We hit the 25, so that's cool. Thank you for everyone again for listening. It's pretty cool, honestly. That I honestly didn't think it would last this long because, and again, especially because I didn't know what to expect with this team. I didn't know if it would have been like last year. I think we've mentioned this before. Like if we started this podcast last year, I don't think it would have lasted because it was so bad. But luckily,
Yeah.
the team is a little bit better this year, and it's a little more fun, and we have more fun things to talk about. I feel.
That's true.
Next month will be 6 months. Or sorry, next week will be 6 months of us doing this podcast.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is insane. But it's pretty fun. I enjoy doing it, and plan is to keep doing it. So, but with the formalities out of the way, we could get into the series. So we mentioned that the Rockies won a series and lost a series. And they lost the first one. It was against the Cubs in Wrigley. They played the Cubs last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago, at home, and they won that series. But then they go into Chicago. The first game they played, honestly, up until the bottom of the eighth and ninth inning, it was a pretty solid game. Cole Carrig just hit an absolute nuke to bring them within. It was a go-ahead home run at the time in the top of the eighth inning. It was electric, honestly. It was really good. Lorenzen did his thing again. He pitched well against the Cubs again. 5 innings of 1 earned run, so pretty good. Unfortunately, and we've seen this a little more common as of recently, the bullpen continues to struggle when they have a lead. The bullpen blew it late. Vodnik allowing a run, Mejia allowing a run, and Halverson having to come into the ninth inning with the bases loaded, 1 out situation, or bases loaded, no outs, because Mejia was walking too many guys. And it ended up just ending the game at that point. The Cubs walked it off. I think it was a walk-off walk, I think. I don't remember. I think it was.
Yep.
I don't remember because I just turned it off as soon as it happened. I was pretty mad.
Yeah, it was a walk.
But a brutal way to lose. That's how it goes. But the second game, Rockies come back. They ended up winning because TJ Rumfield continues to just do his thing. He is legitimately putting up a Rookie of the Year, what's the word? Argument, I guess.
Yeah.
He's not going to win it. There's no way he's going to win it. But I think there's an argument. He should probably be in the top 5 of the NL Rookie of the Year voting. We'll see if that happens. Because I feel like he's doing it pretty quietly. I feel like it's not being talked about at all on a national stage, which, again, it kind of makes sense with how the Rockies are right now. Because he's kind of quiet and he just kind of is just doing his thing. But he just continues to do it. Castro continues his hot June. Castro has been insane in June. We can talk about that later, but he has been insane. It's kind of crazy. And Feltner kind of did his thing. I think he allowed 2 runs in 4 innings or so. So he was pretty solid. But the bullpen finally was able to hold that lead. They pitched a scoreless 4 2/3 innings. Blas Castano did a great job. Rip because he's on the IL. Just this team cannot get away from that. And then that last game, the rubber match, unfortunately, Sean Sullivan, it proves again why the soft lefty is a very, very big gamble. And this wasn't even at Coors. this was in Wrigley. He gets just absolutely shelled. It was a 7-run second inning where it just felt like everything he was throwing up there was getting pissed on. It was just very brutal, honestly. He did end up going 4 innings, but allowing the 8 earned runs. Sterling Thompson had easily his best game offensively of the year so far. He had 2 home runs and he threw in a double there. He was pretty solid that day. Goodman had a home run in the 8th inning to bring him within a few runs. And then Kyle Karros went oppo at Wrigley in the top of the 9th inning, but unfortunately it was not enough as the Rockies ended up losing 8-6. But again, I think that also proves that this team, it clearly is different from last year because I think if a starter gave up 7 earned runs in the second inning, I think the game ends 8-2. Like it's never close. They don't bring it within at all, like within any runs. But this team has like a little bit more fight in them, especially offensively. Like pitching wise, it's just a matter of they don't have it right now in terms of the skill sets. But I think offensively wise, it does feel like you're in a lot of games because they continue to grind out at bats and they're finding ways. And so it was good to see that they were still fighting in it. But they do end up losing that series to the Cubs. But I mean, again, Cubs are a better team than the Rockies. PCA also was just unstoppable. He hit for the cycle in this series. He was just unbelievable. But it is what it is. They split the season series with the Cubs on the year, so that's a good thing at least. But yeah, and then they came home and they played the Pirates. Which Matthew, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah. So first game was pretty solid. I think Willie Castro had a RBI double in the bottom of the third. That scored Tovar. That was pretty good. Castro continues his hot streak in June. Bottom of the fourth, Rumfield hits another homer. That's his second in the last week already. And Rumfield had a homer. Our bullpen gave up a run. Freeland gave up he had 2 earned runs, and the Pirates were able to come back and we're up 3-2. And in the bottom of the 8th, Fulford was able to hit a 2 RBI pinch hit double to bring us back in the lead, and we ended up winning 4-3. Notable things about this game: Freeland probably had one of his best games of the year. 7 and a third innings pitched, 2 earned runs, no walks, and 8 strikeouts.
I would argue that this was probably his best game in the last probably 4 years I've seen him pitch.
It was really good.
Like he legitimately looked like Freeland of old in this game because he just had everything working for him. And again, I think that's what this team signed him to do, and it's really stinks that he's not been able to recapture what he had in his early days. But like, I'm really happy that he was able to do that. So.
And luckily, I think part of the reason why is because this was the game where he hit 1,000 career strikeouts with the Rockies. Well, I guess in general, since he's only played for the Rockies, but unfortunate bit of news is Jaden Hill kind of just again not really kind of struggling a bit, just not really finding the strike zone or just getting hard contact. Sentatella scared me very much in the bottom of the 9th. He somehow loaded the bases with no outs and somehow struck the guy out and got a game-ending double play. I can't believe he made it out of that. Rockies of old could never.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Rockies used 2 of their 9 lives in the series, which we'll go on to talk about. But yeah. I mean, you guys saw it. As soon as they put Fulford up because of #platoon Schaefer.
Yes.
I'm like, why is the third string catcher pinch hitting right now?
Yeah.
And then he just pipes a double in the gap. And once again, proven wrong by Warren Schaefer. I'll take that on the chin because the Rockies ended up winning. But Jaden Hill and Juan Mejia are starting to slide, and it is not good.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll talk about it later in this, but there was a move earlier last week that I questioned because I think it should have been someone else, and we'll talk about it later. But if you want, yeah, you could keep on going.
Game two was also pretty decent, I would say. I think it was the fourth pitch of the game was a leadoff homer by
Spencer Horowitz.
Spencer Horowitz. Actually, what I saw when I watched the recap, because I missed the first three pitches of the game, I just watched the home run. Mm-hmm. But Willie Castro actually, unfortunately, missed a pretty routine fly ball, foul ball, fly ball that probably should have been caught. But either way, that was the only run given up by us throughout the entire game. Tomoyuki Sagano had a very good game for him. And with the rubber match against Skeens, also really good. Really, really well done. More fun. Bottom of the first at bat. Jake McCarthy hits a inside the park home run. Center fielder just misplayed the easy fly out. Well, it wasn't an easy fly out, but like he misplayed, trying to dive for it when he probably should have just played it off the ground. And Jake, being Jake McCarthy, was able to leg out a homer. So that was pretty awesome. And then, Sagano had 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, and 5 strikeouts. We were able to get ourselves out of another scary 9th inning. I want to say the bases were loaded again, weren't they?
They were. They
got loaded again. I think with either 1 out or 0 outs.
I think it was 0. I think it was 0 outs. I'm checking.
Was it?
Hold up. Sorry. Oh, come on, bruh. I think so. Yeah, it was no outs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically loaded with no one out.
Yep. Yeah, and then Jaden Hill was able to get a strikeout, and then we were able to get I believe it was another strikeout, I think. Yeah, it was. It was a strikeout.
Oh, it was
2 strikeouts. Yeah, 2 strikeouts, and then finished it off with a ground out that ended up being a obstruction call by the runner on Karros. The runner just happened to hit Karros' glove. We won't talk about falling into it necessarily, but
I mean that's kind of what you're taught as a fielder, because it's like the runner has to give way for you as the infielder to make the play. So it's what I think was smart on Karros was to instantly throw his hands up and not try to complete the play, because
he's not making it anyway.
Because then Pittsburgh has much more of an argument being like, well, that doesn't matter. Like, he was still trying to make the play. So I think Karros did a good job instantly recognizing that, yeah, the dude kicked my glove. And like, that's the thing, is that I saw a lot of stuff online being like, oh, is this controversial? It's like, no, by the rules of baseball, that is obstruction. Therefore, he is out and the game is over. It's a funny way to win, and it is a very fortunate way to win. But that's just how it goes.
It's interesting that, of course, that's what gets national attention for the Rockies, is the ending of that game.
Yeah.
And people are basically saying that it shouldn't be obstruction because it didn't affect the play, but it did. I mean, and it's just really unfortunate for the Pirates because the bases are loaded, so obviously the guy has to run. Like, it's not like he can pause there because then Kyle's just going to look over and be like, okay, let me go tag third base real quick. Like, he really didn't have much of a choice there, and it's just unfortunate for the Pirates, but woohoo. Yeah. The Rockies officially own Paul Skeens 2-0 on the year.
True. Yeah, Pirates are not great with Paul Skeens right now.
I think they've currently lost 7 in a row with Paul Skeens starting. It's like that can't insane. Happen. The Rockies win at least 3 of those games, I bet. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. It makes me happy that it's like the Rockies have actually an okay offense. It's not a good offense. It is an okay offense. I think, statistically speaking, I think by runs or something, by some metric, they actually have the second best offense in the National League West, obviously behind the Dodgers, because the Diamondbacks offense has been middling. San Diego has been terrible, which makes me happy, but like they have been garbage. And then the Giants have also just been awful, and it's really funny. So...
Yeah. Another fun fact about this game: the last inside the park home run at Coors was Zach McKinstry in 2021, but the last Rocky to hit an inside the park home run at Coors Field.
Wait, I want to think. What is it like? Someone obvious, or is it?
Yeah, it's in 2017.
Then it is Charlie Blackmon against the Giants. Hunter Pence slipped and didn't make the play. I know.
Oh, was it Blackmon?
It was Charlie Blackmon then. I knew that was in 2017.
Who was the last one for the Rockies? Was it?
It was Charlie Blackmon.
Yeah. Was it? No, that was Field.
Sure.
I swore I saw Ian Desmond.
I mean,
in like 2019 or something.
Oh, I mean, it may have been not at Coors.
That's what I was thinking. But either way, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, because Coors, I feel like in that deep pocket,
Coors makes sense. Yeah.
It usually how it goes with a lot of places though, it's either it has to have a crazy carom bounce or a player has to misfield it, but it not be an error.
Yeah,
that's usually how it is. So.
And I also believe the ones I listed were without error as well.
Yeah.
I think that's what I just listed.
Yeah.
So fun fact.
So on to the third game. You know, we had won the series. We were hoping to finish the sweep.
No.
We do not have a very good history of being able to finish the sweep.
Not this year.
And Rockies did not do that again. So we were able to be up 1-0 in the second with Sterling Thompson just RBI ground out. But Pittsburgh kind of just went off the rails there. Homer, double, single, double, homer. Yeah, and made it 8-1 in the bottom of the eighth, and Rockies pretty much were done and out from there. But bright side is they were able to come back late in the eighth and the ninth, and were able to at least make it close. It was 8-6. So again, going back to Anthony's point of it was, you know, we aren't just losing these games 8-1 and have no offense. Like we're at least like somewhat going up again. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Lorenzen not great. Juan Mejia again just kind of struggling quite a bit.
Yes.
Rumfield had a 3-run homer, so that's 3 home runs in the last week for Rumfield. Mm-hmm. But again, a little too late. So, but yeah. So. Not really a whole lot to talk about that last game. Kind of just...
Yeah, like you said, Mejia continues to just struggle. It's really not fun to... It's really just been terrible for him. And then Lorenzen was okay. Like 5 innings of 4 runs or something like that. So not the best. 2 guys that we've we've just kind of talked about just in general today, because of how they've been playing and how they've been influential in the wins that the Rockies have had, like in this past week, but in general in June, have been Willie Castro and TJ Rumfield. Willie Castro in June is hitting .306 with a .943 OPS, which is just absolutely, like, thinking about how he was in April and May even. Like, May he was doing better, but April especially, he was abysmal. So he has just been absolutely insane. He's got 3 home runs. He's got 4 doubles in 17 games. So he has just been exactly what the Rockies signed him to do. He's actually been more than that this month, but he's finally becoming the player that they've needed from him. And then Rumfield has just continued to just do his thing. He's hitting 266, but he's got a 351 on base and a 961 OPS. He's got 5 home runs, 5 doubles, and a triple. He's just been absolutely popping off, and it's really good to see. And so that right there leads us, I think, into this next thing. We're talking about the outfield because there's it's coming. There's going to be a roster crunch pretty soon, I think, whether that be because of the trade deadline or even before that. And part of that is TJ Rumfield has essentially locked down first. So that means one, Charlie Condon is not going to be playing first probably this year for the Rockies. He will be playing in the outfield, which adds just another name to this already just absolutely loaded outfield. So Moniak comes back today as of the recording of this podcast. He was lifted off the IL finally today. And there was news that both Brenton Doyle and Jordan Beck are starting rehab assignments in AAA. But now, these are the outfielders that are soon going to have the Rockies have options for in the outfield. They have Moniak. They're going to have Doyle and Beck back. Johnston, Freeman, McCarthy, Carrig, and Sterling Thompson I'm throwing in there because he was here. He was just sent down for Mickey Moniak. But then there's also Zach Veen and Charlie Condon who aren't up yet. So you've got time to wait for them. Veen is on the 40-man, I believe. And then Condon is not quite on the 40-man. So that has to be a much bigger decision. That's why I think Veen will get called up before him. But with that, it's kind of insane because you got to think about this like this. Right now, Cole Carrig has been on a heater. He's got the experience and he's got the ability to play center. He's pretty much what Brenton Doyle was a few years ago, and he's 24 years old. Brenton Doyle is now 28, I believe. And that's not good for him because his age right now, and he's now dealt with this injury and poor play this year. Because of how well Cole Carrig has become, it's kind of, it's getting scary for him. It's getting scary for Jordan Beck. I mean, there's an argument that at some point, where does Tyler Freeman fit in? Because, yes, he can play in the infield, but the Rockies have very seldom used him in the infield because you have Willie Castro and Edward Julien. So they don't really need to use Freeman in the infield. So he's pretty much been an outfielder where he has been a not good defensive outfielder. And so it's just kind of so where does he fit in? Troy Johnson obviously is leading a leader, one of the highest batting averages in the NL. So where does he fit in? Because again, he is not a great defensive outfielder. And so it's but does that warrant putting him at DH? Because then it's well, would you rather have Mickey Moniak DH? Would you rather have Charlie Condon DH? Someone like that. And so it's just that the whole roster crunch with the outfield specifically is going to be really interesting. And I think something that we'll have to keep our eye on because I don't know how it's going to shake out, but I expect some tough moves in the coming months for the front office to make.
Yeah. Well, we have another segment to talk more in depth about some of this, but I think Julien's got to be first to go.
Yeah.
If you're going to fill a spot I would rather have Freeman every day of the week than Julien. A lot more versatile. He's not nearly as bad on defense. And we saw it last year and we're seeing it this year. You know what you're going to get out of Tyler Freeman.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to get. You're going to get a single, maybe 2 a game. He's going to get on base. He won't steal. He won't play great defense, but that's a guy that will get on base. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what the Rockies have needed for so long. I would hate to really see anyone on that list gone of the people that you just named, because that's tough. Yeah. And so many of them have so many good characteristics that we've liked this year. So yeah, it's going to be tough to squeeze people coming back.
I agree. But something that's not as tough to really think about is, well, I mean, it's tough to watch for sure. Is the bullpen. So this is So we've talked about how Jaden Hill has really hit a rough patch in the last month or so, which is really too bad because before that he was on fire. He was absolutely dynamite for the Rockies. But I'm looking at here. I'm trying to get what are his numbers? I'm trying to get him here. Hold up.
Red Sox fan since he's
from. I hear Rockies game.
That is my king.
So in June alone for Jaden Hill, he currently has a 13.50 ERA in 6 innings. Granted, only 6 innings, but that's allowing 9 runs in those 6 innings. He has 8 walks in 6 innings. That is unbelievable. And a wild pitch as well. And he also has 3 hit by pitches. So he has allowed 11 runners to get on base without, if you want to go by this, really without earning it in terms of getting a hit. He is allowing 11 runners to get on base. And he's only struck out 5. He's allowed 8 hits as well. So he has just been absolutely brutal. But then there's someone that I honestly, just from the feeling, I feel like has been even worse, and that's Juan Mejia. I don't know it really stinks because, again, I think I said this at the beginning of the year. He was one of those bright spots last year that I was so happy about. But this year he has been really not good. In the month of June, he's allowed 8 earned runs in 6 2/3 innings. He's got 7 strikeouts, but he only has, I say only 4 walks, but he allows way too much hard contact. And when he does walk people, they score. And so that's just not ideal. And there was a move earlier this week that sent Seth Halverson back down to AAA. And I'm going to be totally honest. I think that was absolutely the wrong move. I do not understand the move there by the front office. I don't know if it was because they want to build him back to become the closer. Maybe they're trying to just do that with him. Or what. But I think that was absolutely the wrong move because I think
it's been bad.
Yeah, I think a perfect candidate would have been Juan Mejia to just get him out of those big situations and get him just back to doing what he did best. And so we'll just have to see how that shakes out. But it's just been really, really bad recently for both of those guys. And we've talked a little bit about Antonio Senzatella. He's not been as bad as those guys, but he has definitely taken a little bit of a step back from how dominant he was at the beginning of the year. In June, in 7 1/3 innings, he has allowed 5 earned runs, including a home run with 4 walks, with 7 strikeouts as well. So he's still allowing those earned runs, walking a little too many people as well. So he's kind of on a little bit of a slippery slope, but it's just the nature of, honestly, just a bullpen in Colorado. I feel like how it's been for many years, they use them so much early in the year, and then they are just gassed by June. And then you really start to see what happens when your bullpen gets gassed. And it's just because the starters can't stay out there long enough, whether that be because they get hurt or they get shelled. And it's just been kind of that for the whole year, and especially in June. But do either of you have anything else on either the bullpen, roster crunch situation, anything like that?
Bullpen stinks.
That's
all.
Yeah. Well, and so this will just lead into our next thing. We're talking about, trade deadlines coming up soon. or like soon-ish. You know, we got a little. I mean, we got about a little month and a week left until the trade deadline area, and so it's this is kind of how I'm looking at it. I hope that we have a tough month in terms emotionally with this team in terms of who is going to be traded, because as much as like some of those guys we don't want to see get traded, the Rockies have to make moves this deadline. This is a crucial deadline in terms of moving people. If they have value, certain guys, if they have value, I think it is paramount that we move them. And so Jeff Passan, I mean, probably the best baseball writer and analyst for ESPN, did a big trade candidate piece, like last week, going over what players could be traded, but for every team. And for the Rockies, he listed, how many is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. He listed 10 players. That's a solid amount. I mean, it was a list of 100 players. It was a list of 100 guys. So, it's a pretty solid amount of people. And so we're just going to go through all of them right now and kind of just discuss. Yes, no, I know we've kind of done this in the past. But I think it's, it's getting near that time. So, to start off, it has listed at number 29 on this, so it's like 1 to 100. So the first one's at 29, so obviously they don't have a lot of big marquee players. I think Moniak would have been more big named if he would have not been hurt for a lot of the year. But Senzatella is listed at 29. I'm pretty sold on. I think he's gonna get traded. I'm expecting it at this point. And I think it would be the smart thing to do. The hardest thing I think trading Senzatella is going to be that contract, because he's a reliever that is having a career outlier year that we're paying about $10 million to. Now, granted, by the time we trade him, it'll be probably about $5-ish million left on his deal that that whoever is going to have to pay them, and the Rockies will probably have to pay off probably half that contract. I bet they'll work something out. But I expect Senzatella to get moved for sure. At 32, it has Mickey Moniak. I think with what we talked about with the outfield situation, I think I would like Moniak to get traded, because I think with just the outfield depth that we have, I do think that they need to give time for both Condon and Veen to show what they're capable of at the big league level. And it's going to be really hard to do that if Moniak is still here. And again, don't get me wrong, I love Mickey Moniak. I love watching him play for the Rockies, and I'm honestly just happy that he's had this career resurgence with the Rockies. It's been really fun to watch. Now I hope that he can go to a contender and provide that to a contending team. And I do think the Rockies should move him this trade deadline.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think probably a month and a half ago or so, I was anti-trade Mickey.
As was I.
But unfortunately, in the time he's been gone, I hate to say that maybe I haven't really noticed. Maybe I've kind of forgot a little bit that he was gone just because of how the Rockies offense has performed without him. Because like when he first came back, because he started the year with injury, then he came out firing when the Rockies offense couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So it was fun to watch then, but like seeing guys like Carrig, who's quite a bit younger, and Veen's mashing the minor leagues, Condon's mashing the minor leagues, Jake McCarthy's playing outstanding. You can't trade Troy Johnston at this point, which he's not even on the list, which is awesome. But yeah, I think it is time for Mickey to go to a contender and be a platoon bat.
Yeah, I agree.
Same with Senza.
I think we could get good stuff for him.
Yeah,
maybe some good pitching and some decent relief pitching.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that what this front office is going to do is they're just going to prospect haul. They're just going to get as many prospects, that they're looking at as they can, probably. Um, but that's just what I expect. It has Willie Castro next at 44. This one's an interesting one because he has a 2-year deal, so it would be a year and some change left on his deal, and it's not too hefty. It's like a $4 million next year. It was like a 2-year $8 million. It was like not a lot, and for how he's been playing, I mean, again, I think a contender could really use someone like Willie Castro who could play multiple positions in the infield and outfield, and he has been a good solid bat in June for the Rockies, both away from Coors Field and at home. And so it's an interesting one for sure. I don't really know if I have a preference. I think it would kind of stink because like I've grown to actually really like watching Willie Castro play. Granted, it's obviously because he's been playing well. I'll admit that. But I don't know. I think if you do trade him, I think at that point then that solidifies that you're going to probably have to keep a Edouard Julien. He's going to have to stay on the roster. You're going to have to keep a possibly a Tyler Freeman type guy, but that also may give someone that we have not talked about at all recently.
I know who you're going to say, and that's what I wanted to talk about.
Is you can give Adele Amador another shot at the major league level.
That's not who I was thinking.
That's not who you were thinking? Who are you thinking?
No, it was not.
Who?
Ryan Ritter.
Oh, I totally forgot about him.
He's been mashing in Triple.
Oh, has he been? I have not.
I think he just finished like a 32 game on base streak or something.
Well, I know that he was hurt for a very long time.
Yeah, but when he came back, he still like kept it going for a bit too.
I
think that is a much better shout out because I actually think Amador has been pretty bad this year.
He's hitting almost Ritter. He's hitting 288 in minor leagues.
Ritter?
Yeah.
So,
which is fine.
Yeah.
It's not great, but we saw what he wasn't fantastic in the major leagues by any stretch of the imagination, but he was serviceable.
Yeah.
And he's 25.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Has Julian not been serviceable? Like he's probably been less than serviceable, I would say.
Yeah. Especially on the defensive end.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, I agree. Yeah, Ryan Ritter's definitely a better shout out. I don't know what I was thinking. I just forgot about it, if I'm being honest. But I agree. So I'm kind of half and half with that one. I don't really, like if a team wants him and they're willing to give up something good for him, I don't see why you don't do it.
Yeah.
This one's funny.
So far, probably the best Castro trade we've had. So,
or best Castro signing, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. This one's funny because this piece was written 6 days ago, and I honestly think in the 6 days since, this is now probably off the list. It has Jaden Hill. I do not think anybody wants Jaden Hill at this point. I think I'd be pretty shocked if the only thing I could think of is
Rocky's favorite player.
It's a change of scenery thing is I think what it would do. But I don't think that the Rockies are going to move him just because I don't think anybody's going to really want him. No. And the Rockies, I mean, they're not going to want to deal too many pitchers away because they're going to need some. So
it could be a Rollison situation where, now he's got like a sub 3.5 ERA.
Which is insane for
the
another
Cubs,
team.
right?
Yeah. It was the Cubs, yeah.
And he was terrible on the Rockies.
Yes, he was.
Like, it is unbelievable watching him pitch. And the same thing with Gavin Hollowell.
Yeah.
Same situation, who's also on the Cubs.
Mm.
Just terrible for the Rockies and is putting together a serviceable season.
Yeah.
Jaden Hill is at cash considerations level.
Yeah. And honestly, so, I don't even think
I don't think that's worth it.
No, I don't think you trade him for that. Because it's like, you need arms, even if it's bad, you need people to pitch here. And, you might as well try and figure it out with him. So, hopefully he can figure it out and get to a good level at some point.
Yeah.
Number 66 on the list, it has Jake McCarthy. Very interesting one because you're shaking your head, Drew, but like think about it. Like I would not be shocked if a team is wanting to look for a guy that they could use as a pinch runner in a playoff game, and a bunting special because he bunts pretty well, and I mean he's fast enough that he could get a bunt hit in a clutch like playoff game type situation.
Yeah.
I could see a team just moving. Now, again, this is not okay, well, I don't want the Rockies to just give him away for nothing. This is we want, give us a top 30, top 20 prospect here. Probably a pitcher. The Rockies have got to be looking for pitchers. Like, that's what they're probably looking for majority of. Yes, the hitting is not great, but the pitching is that bad that I do think that they need to hustle up about the pitching stuff. But this one's just another case of, I think, kind of same-ish situation for me as Willie Castro. I think if a good deal arises, I do think you pull the trigger. But it's just a matter of I don't know if that's going to happen. So
I think Jake McCarthy's a major bridge guy at this point. Like, we're talking 5 years down the line, he's going to be 32 years old.
Yeah.
I think he can stick around, and because he can play corner outfield, which helps. I know there's a lot of young guys wanting to take over that role, but Jake McCarthy, his defense has been pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's good enough.
Yeah,
and all the dimensions of his game, even through slumps, he's still going to be able to produce because of his speed.
Yeah.
Because of his bunting ability, that dude could not be able to hit the ball. But if he can bunt or walk and get on and immediately steal second, this is the guy on the list that I think I would want the Rockies to give up the biggest haul for.
It's Jake McCarthy. Interesting.
Yeah. More than anyone else on this list.
More than even Moniak?
Yeah.
Okay.
Moniak's got the home run value.
Yeah.
But Jake McCarthy's so much more well-rounded. And especially, he's been getting better as the season has gone on. I mean, he's hitting 295.
Yeah. With
11 bags and 5 home runs out of a guy that bunts. He still has 5 home runs. So I think he's the most versatile. He's one of the most versatile players on the Rockies. And I think I would be upset if they did not get an absolute haul for him.
I think that's fair. Okay. Next up, Tomo Sagano. So here's the thing with Sagano is like he has been good for us. Like I have I'm happy with that signing. He's been pretty solid overall. Now, compared to most other pitchers in the league, he has not been that amazing. He's probably a 4-starter at best on most contending playoff teams. Which again, that just goes to show how behind the Rockies are pitching wise, because this dude borderline has been our ace this year. Not even borderline, he has been our ace. I don't even know who else would be there. I just don't foresee the Rockies trading him because again, I just don't foresee a team needing him. That being said, I mean, starting pitching is always going to be on the market. Like people are always going to want it. I just don't think their teams are going to go to the Rockies for that. So I don't really foresee Sagano getting signed or getting traded. And I'm fine with him staying here throughout the year because I really enjoy watching him pitch. I think he brings a different type of pitcher, and it's just I think it's a good keep for the Rockies. I believe so.
Yeah, my opinion for honestly the rest of the list is whatever. Like Sagano's been good for the Rockies, but also if they got rid of him, it's it's not the end of the world in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like that's not like trading away Moniak. It's not
Yeah.
trading
It's not
away
it's not a like.
Jake McCarthy. Like it's not. I don't think it's drastically going to affect the Rockies' record if Sagano gets traded, and he's probably the best person we're going to talk about over the next 5 players.
Yeah.
But my opinion, I'm probably not going to say anything further. But my opinion is kind of whatever.
Mm.
I don't know. As long as we'll talk about Bernardino, as long as the Rockies have a lefty in the bullpen, then sure, good riddance. See you later. It doesn't really bother me much. So
yeah. Yeah. Next up, like I'll just honestly list these 4 guys because they're all pitchers that are honestly just really kind of down bad right now. You got Juan Mejia at 81, Brandon Bernardino at 82, Michael Lorenzen at 86, and Ryan Feltner at 100. I'm telling you right now, no team is going to trade for Michael Lorenzen. No team, and if they do, they are honestly just I don't know what's going on through their head. I do not think Lorenzen is going to be moved because he has been statistically one of the worst pitchers in baseball this year. Ryan Feltner, I mean, he's just been injury riddled, and I think that would be a full on just change of scenery type of thing where they're just trying to see if it'll work. Like the team that would be trading for him, but I do not foresee him getting moved. Bernardino, I think, has more of an argument because he's a lefty, and like teams need left-handed pitching. So I could foresee him getting traded. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked he is not above any of these other pitchers on this list because I do foresee teams wanting him more than either Juan Mejia or Sagano or anyone like that, or even Jaden Hill, honestly. Like, I do think that Bernardino has a better shot, but also all these guys, I'd be probably the most sad seeing Feltner get traded, because I do really like Feltner, and I've grown to really root for the guy, especially just because he has gotten just the worst luck possible when it comes to injuries, and he's just never been able to stay healthy. But I don't really foresee the Rockies trading many of these other guys, other than honestly Bernardino, who I would honestly give like a 50% chance of getting traded because he's a lefty. I just honestly simply because he's a lefty.
yeah, I think he's got the best value out of the group you just listed.
Yeah.
Feltner would hurt. You know, Feltner was probably the first pitcher of the Rockies that I ever liked.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking long ago, over 3 years ago now, watching this dude just deal. And then, you know, like a month later, he gets hit in the head with a ball.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, Ryan Feltner emotionally would hurt. But pretty much everybody else that we've talked about, including Jaden Hill, whatever.
Yeah.
Like Mejia, it's the same song and dance every year. He starts the year hot. He does great, and then he falls off a cliff, and then he comes back, and then it's just rinse and repeat. So I'm just kind of indifferent with them.
Yeah.
And if this is the group that I'd like to call, I just thought of this, the cash consideration kings. That's what their value would be.
The cash.
And we'll see.
The cash considerators or something like that.
Yeah. We haven't seen this front office work, but if it was Bill Schmidt, he would be taking all the cash that's considered. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. I would agree with that. But those were the names on that list by Mr. Passan. So overall, you know, it is what it is. We'll have to just see. A lot of waiting around for that trade deadline. And like I said, I mean, if this is going to be a good one, it's going to be, honestly, it's going to be, Jesus, I can't speak. A hard one, like mentally for fans, because I think it should be, the Rockies are going to need to trade people. Now, I do not think a big name there that was not listed. I do not think Hunter Goodman is getting traded. I do not think he is. I do not think that I do not think TJ Rumfield is getting traded.
I hope not.
I do not think Ezekiel Tovar is getting traded for the opposite reason.
Too long of a contract.
For too hefty of a contract and just not good enough to get traded right now. And we'll talk more. We could talk more next week about more roster crunch and in terms of who's getting cut or like, stuff like that. But it's just it'll be an interesting one for sure. It hopefully will be a more busy trade deadline than in the past few years for sure.
Yeah. I hope so.
But other than that, last thing I've got on today's docket is minor league news. So I mean, we could do the same thing we always do, is talk about Condon and Veen are raking. Yes, they're still doing very well. You mentioned Ryan Ritter popping off a little bit. I think the Yard Goats, I saw that they made it to the playoffs, I believe.
Yeah.
Because they made their whatever playoff thing. So good for them. Happy for the Yard Goats.
Yeah.
But a big thing that I wanted to talk about was, so I remember talking about this like way back in the beginning. The Rockies signed out of the International League a former GM's son, Jack O'Dowd. He's a catcher / second baseman. Like I think he plays a lot of positions. I believe. I'm trying to see what he plays. What has he played in? He's played a lot of second base. He's also caught a little bit. So yeah, he's caught, played first base, and second base. So he's like an infielder / catcher. He played the beginning of the year at Spokane or in Fresno, and he raked in Fresno, and he was really, really good. And so now he makes his way up to Spokane, where in 28 games he's been called up to high A. In 28 games, he has 9 home runs, hitting .368 with a 1.169 OPS. This dude is absolutely insane right now. He's got 8 doubles and a triple as well, 34 RBI. No stolen bases, but that's fine. And a walk to strikeout ratio, he's got 23 strikeouts to 17 walks. He's got a 452 on base. Like, this dude has been absolutely insane. And he won, I think he got like the Player of the Week, I think a Minor League Player of the Week award this past week. So congrats to him. But it's honestly super cool that like independent league guy, gets signed out of nowhere, and he's just absolutely crushing it. And I hope all the best for him, and I hope he continues to do it. And yeah, that's pretty much, yeah. Like, also of note on that Spokane team, Max Bailey, I think he was I want to say he was a second pick of last year's draft for the Rockies or something like that. He's started really slow this year, but he's finally coming on. In the last 30 days, he has over 1,000 OPS, a 1.158 OPS, 8 home runs and 6 doubles, over a 440 on base percentage. Like, he's been absolutely insane. So that's really, really good to see. And I think Fresno's still kind of just doing their thing. It really stinks again that Holiday's not there. I have not really caught too much Fresno since Holiday's been gone. But as far as I'm aware, I think that they're still doing well. But yeah, no, I really want to just touch on Jack O'Dowd just absolutely crushing it, and it's just really good to see some, and that's like those stories where it's like an indie ball guy comes to the pros and does pretty well. So hopefully he can just continue to do that, because that'd be cool to see.
Awesome.
But other than that, I don't think I have much else. I don't think I have anything else really, other than, I guess, weekly preview. Rockies play the Boston Red Sox and someone else. Checking. Minnesota. They play Minnesota this weekend. So Boston for the week, off day on Thursday. Minnesota over the weekend. Minnesota also not very good. So that should be an interesting one. Boston's also kind of struggling a little bit. They're a little bit better than Minnesota, though, for sure. But we'll just have to see how things play out. But other than that, again, with Moniak coming back, hopefully this offense can keep it going. But we'll see. But other than that, I don't got anything else. Do y'all have anything to say?
I can do a quick home run draft.
Home run draft update. Yes.
Third place is Drew with 7. Second place is Matthew with 21. And in first place is Anthony with 37.
Oh my god. Jeez.
Yeah.
Ugh. Wow.
His second place hitter has more hits than everyone else in the entire
Oh really?
home run draft, except for Moniak. He has 12. Rumfield has 12 home runs.
That's insane.
No one on the planet expected that.
Yeah. I was
All-Star break, no less.
See, that was the thing, is I was expecting like 15 on the year.
Yeah.
And that's a good year I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow. But
yep, pretty crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I was expecting at least 10 homers from Tovar, and he hasn't.
he's just been rough. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So that's the home run draft. That's all I wanted to say. I don't have anything else.
All right.
See
Well,
you guys next week.
yep. See you guys next week.
Yep.
And next week, really quick, it's going to be a little bit different. You'll see when it comes. But it should still be out. It might be out on Sunday night, not Monday. But we'll just have to see how that goes. But it will be a little bit different. But you'll see when that is up. But other than that, I have got nothing else. So as always, go Rockies. Thank you all so much for listening and watching. And we'll see you all in the next one. All right. Bye.